From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Tuesday, July 18th, 2023. Different schedule today, or this week I should say, because I am on the Canadian Prairie. For the first time, I am recording the Canadian Prairie forecast from the Canadian Prairie. I landed in Saskatoon yesterday afternoon and had plenty of time to get out and enjoy some of the scenery, some of the storms making their way in. I could not resist getting out there and just taking in some of the sights. That's always the first thing that I want to do when I go to a new location. I just want to see the rural area, maybe see some storms. Didn't get to see much in the way of thunderstorm activity yesterday, but I caught this decaying shelf cloud. This was on the leading edge of some storms that were making their way across the Alberta-Saskatchewan border. The storms themselves had kind of died and evaporated, but you still had the boundary between the rain-cooled air of those storms and the warm and relatively humid air out ahead of those storms. So as the rain-cooled air continues to surge east, it runs into, here's that rain-cooled air coming out, and then we've got all this warm air out ahead of it. So the warm air rises up over the top of the cool air coming out, and you develop what's called a shelf cloud. So this was quite a sight to watch come in, sweeping over the prairie. I made my way back here, and then I will be at the Ag in Motion Expo site today, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'll be talking at the Expo site every few hours, so come and find us over at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Expo location, and I would love to say hey. Now, what we have to talk about over the next 3 to 4 days, I should really say the next 2 days or so, is the storm system that brought the precipitation to parts of Alberta and Saskatchewan yesterday. It continues to spin right over Saskatoon, so we've got quite the area of low pressure making its way into central parts of Saskatchewan. It's going to ride down Highway 16 into southern Manitoba over the next 24 hours. We'll look at the rain here, the radar, I should say. We've got some light showers associated with that area of low pressure here in a couple of different corridors following the tight circulation of that area of low pressure. And as we head through the rest of the day today, it's not impossible we could see a couple of strong thunderstorms develop. Saskatoon probably going to be free of stronger storms today, but you make your way a little further east, and again, as I said, right down Highway 16 into southern, at least southwestern portions of Manitoba is where we could see some strong storms through the day today. Some hail, gusty winds, can't rule out a tornado or so, a tornado or two with all of the spin in the atmosphere here today. Now here's the forecast precipitation over the next 3 to 4 days, and again, a lot of it comes in the next 24 hours across Saskatchewan and Manitoba, with the storm system that's spinning overhead. As we head later into the week, we're going to see high pressure building in. It's going to lead to warmer and drier conditions in general across the prairie. So I'll time this out for you real quick. We'll go ahead and bring it back here to, this will be midday Tuesday. The area of low pressure kind of situated right here. Again, the flow coming around that area of low pressure. It's out ahead of the low. We expect to see most of the shower and storm activity developing this afternoon and evening. So here would be afternoon, and then early evening, again, just a chance for a couple of strong storms right in this corridor. Those thunderstorms begin to weaken overnight, and as we head into Wednesday, the area of low pressure shifts south into the Great Lakes, south of the U.S. border. So this is what it looks like sunset on Wednesday. Not much in the way of clouds or precipitation across the prairie. Same story on Thursday. We do start to get some upslope flow here, so you can't rule out a couple of storms along the Front Range, Calgary, maybe some strong storms in the area on Thursday evening in parts of those areas. So here's the total precipitation forecast again over the next few days. Going to be pretty variable, hit or miss. Heaviest where you get a stronger storm, lighter where you just get some of these light showers like we're seeing in Saskatoon right now. And then again, as I show you here over the next 10 days, not a lot in the way of organized precipitation, pretty typical summer pattern here. So here's the look. The jet stream, 3 troughs kind of lined up. One making its way into the Great Lakes, another one over Saskatoon, and then another one in the Gulf of Alaska. As I animate this, we'll see some ridging develop over the prairie as we get into the weekend and early next week before that trough over the Gulf of Alaska moves in early to mid next week. And as I show you the jet stream winds here, there is a chance we could get some enhanced flow over the prairie. So this is what I'm talking about. You see the area of low pressure over the Alberta-Saskatchewan border right now. South of that, the stronger jet stream winds. It's those stronger winds that help develop the showers and storms across the area. So we like pockets of fast jet stream winds during the summertime. As we head deeper into the weekend, that's where we see those stronger jet stream winds moving off to the south and east. We start to see some ridging, weaker jet stream flow that leads to hotter, drier conditions over the weekend into early next week. Then we take it a little further. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, getting into now July 24th, 25th, and 26th. The ridge kind of centered over the Four Corners region of the southwest United States. And again, over the top of that ridge now, starting to see some faster flow. So it's possible early next week, similar to this week. Again, not a drought-busting, soaking rain event, but bringing in more chances for at least isolated, maybe scattered showers and storms. What does that look like with the European model? The operational rainfall forecast, we'll bring it back here to Tuesday. Here's that area of low pressure moving southeast from Saskatchewan into Manitoba. By the time we get to tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, can't rule out a stray shower or storm somewhere across the prairie, but by and large, a drier and hotter pattern across the prairie. And so as we get into early next week, we start to see some jet stream flow coming in from the southwest. That could open us back up to at least isolated to scattered showers and storms, maybe a couple thunderstorm clusters as we get into early to mid next week. As we really look at the probability of picking up an inch or more of total rainfall over the next 7 days, a lot of this tied to the storm system making its way through right now. Not all that high. Again, pockets of some heavier rainfall where you get a stronger storm, but by and large, it's going to be hit or miss. And on the light side, we add in the next 7 days following that, so taking it all the way through July 29th now. This includes the early to mid next week rainfall chances. Again, south of Highway 16, pretty unlikely you're going to stack up a soaking rainfall event. North, up towards Highway 16, a little bit of a better chance here of kind of putting together a couple of rainfall events here to get some more significant rainfall. But really, as we look at, I'm taking it here looking at July 20th through the 27th. So that gets us past the current storm system, looking at the heat and dryness over the weekend and that chance for some rain early to mid next week. Kind of put them together here. So July 20th through the 27th, temperatures here, and then precipitation, again, July 20th through the 27th. The pattern pretty much like this, looking for some heat to build across the prairie, and then drier conditions as well. This is not just across the prairie, it's down into the Pacific Northwest, parts of the western U.S., dealing with a hot, dry pattern here as we get into the end of July as well. So here's what that looks like in terms of actual temperatures. Calgary, you're hitting a high of 30 on Sunday as that ridge builds into the area. Can't rule out a couple storms on the front range there as we get into the late part of the week and the weekend. Edmonton, 27 for the high on Sunday. Saskatoon, you feel the heat too early next week. 32 for the high Monday, 30 on Tuesday. Maybe that chance for some showers and storms accompanying that as we get into early to mid next week. Regina, similar look, 32 for the high on Monday and Tuesday. And then in Winnipeg, just a little bit more delayed. You're feeling some of the cooler air on the backside of the storm system tomorrow, high of only 22, mid to upper 20s for the rest of the work week, and then into the upper 20s to near 30 as we get into the early part of next week. Have a wonderful day, a great week. We'll be back to normal next week. I'll talk to you again on Monday morning. And once again, if you are at Ag in Motion, please come and find me, say, hey, let's talk.